Hi, this is a demonstration video for a Sony MiniDisc player, MDS-JE330. This unit will both play and record mini discs. I'll show you around back first here. Just get that out of the way. So we just get the power cord down at that end. And over here we've got our digital input, which is an optical fiber optic connection that you could use to connect to like your CD player. And then there's the analog inputs and outputs here. And here is the serial number, model number for reference. That's about it in the back. So, go over the front panel a little bit here. So we've got a power button. It's your standard click, non-mechanical. And you'll see it's on standby mode, you know, when the power's off. Turn that back on, and you've got your display. Shows all kinds of information. You got a play mode here, shuffle, program. Then there's a repeat mode. Repeat all, repeat off. Sorry about the focus. I don't know why it's doing that. And then this one will display like how many minutes and seconds are left on this disc. Basically, you can record on these discs if you use the recordable version. And this shows you how much time you have left to record. It's just saying there's no name, and this is how much time has been recorded on this disc. Then here's the eject button. That's what the media looks like. I'll talk about that a little bit later. I think it's a pretty neat format, especially for what it's intended for being portable and durable and all that. And then they've got the AMS. You can use this to go from track to track. See if I turn, you can see I'm going track to track here. Then there's some menu settings here that you can use, and then use this to select those menu settings. And then this pushes into, if you need to, you know, select something. Press in on that. Oops, started to play there. And this just lets you select certain things in the menu, and this clears. I think that's like if you're entering some text, because you can actually name the disc and name the tracks, you know, with input, you know, from this you can select you know, letters and whatnot. So then you just got your typical play, pause, stop, record, and then this lets you fast forward or reverse, you know, within a track. And then this is the input switch here. So as you saw in the back, there's a digital input. So if you've got this, say, connected to a CD player or some other digital source, you want to record to this unit, that you would have it in digital. And if you got it connected to one of the RCA jacks analog, you'd set it down here. So the remote control's got a lot of stuff on it that are, you know, unique to the mini disc. You know, there's probably even more things on here than there is on the front panel. You know, it gives you a little more versatility when you're entering characters and things like that. And a few other features. You can adjust your record levels here, that sort of thing. You can adjust those from the unit too, but I'm going to do a little demonstration on that in a little bit. So that's the remote. The model of the remote is RMD29M. Just runs on a couple AA batteries. So that's that. So anyway, we do have, like I showed you earlier, there is a disc in here. I'm going to talk about the disc real quick. These are pretty interesting because it's like having a little CD inside, this case, which makes it nice and durable, real portable. It's pretty small, and there's two kinds of these. Well, that will work in this particular player. There's the recordable type, which is what this is, and then there is a regular pre-recorded where you can buy popular artists, just like buying a record, and those are different. You cannot record on those. Those are made just like a CD, where there's a layer and they put pits in there that the laser reads. That's where the laser gets its ones and zeros from, essentially. So in this case, on these recordable CDs, it doesn't use the pits when you're recording something. It actually uses the laser to heat up the recordable surface, and then there is a coil above it that actually changes the polarization, the magnetic polarization of that point on the disc. And then so when you play it back, it's very interesting that the laser is reflected through that recordable medium in there, and its polarization changes based on the polarization that the magnetic coil placed on there. So that's how it reads all the ones and zeros off of this. It doesn't use pits like like a regular CD does. So it's very interesting. The laser heats up and then heats the surface up to a certain point, and then the coil writes the data to it. So that's just a quick run through on the media part of it. So we'll put this back in, and the TOC is the table of contents, so it's reading that, and it's giving us how much time is recorded on here and how many tracks. There's 26 tracks, and then this tells how much record time is left on this one. This particular disc is a 74 minutes. So that's how much you can record to it. And from that, what I'm going to do is I'll show you. I'm going to just do a record demonstration. So we've got 26 tracks on there now. So I have connected to the analog. I got this little recorder, and we're just going to play some generic piano music through it, through the analog inputs here. And it's quite simple. So right now it's playing. You don't hear it, but when you hit the record button, and you gotta make sure you're on the right input here too, on the analog here, but I'm gonna hit the record button and you'll see what the display shows. Okay, now we can hear the music that's playing. It's just some piano practice my son did. So it's in pause right now. It's in record pause. And from this point, you can actually set the levels here. Here's the level coming through. And then you can adjust those levels with the AMS, see, plus or minus dB here, to make it louder or softer. So that's how you can adjust your record levels. And then once you got that set and you want to start recording, you just press play. And see, it stopped flashing and it is recording now. Sorry about the bumpy video here. And see, now we're on track 27. And really, that's all there is to recording it. Now, when you want to stop, you just hit stop. And now you can just press play to play it back. That's what we just recorded. And you saw it said no name on there. You can actually assign names to these tracks and to the CD if you want. So, and then this shows you how much time is left. 10 seconds. It's your countdown. You can set this to repeat. Yeah, it's got some common features on it that a CD player would have. But yeah, that's a nice unit. It works well. All the mechanics work. It ejects fine. As you're ejecting the disc, it says TOC writing. That means it's actually writing that record or that table of contents, the piece that we recorded. So it doesn't write that until you either hit eject or you turn the unit off, and then it will. So you never want to unplug this unit after you record something. You'd want to allow it to write the table of contents before you do that. Otherwise, you lose your recording. And what's cool about these two is you can record on these apparently thousands of times over and over again. So they're very durable and long-lasting. And there's a lot of portable players for these. And the sound is very good. They use there is some compression to it. But it still has a good sound to it. You know, I suppose if you were an audiophile, you may disagree, but I think the sound actually comes out of there is pretty good. And yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna show you the inside real quick here. Just let me pause and pull the cover off. Okay, this is what the unit looks like. Opened up. There's really not a whole lot in there. You know, you've got your power supply section here, some filter capacitors, transformers, standby transformer, and that sort of thing, relay. And yeah, there's not a whole lot to it. A lot of empty space. There is circuitry, you know, in the front panel too, of course. And then, of course, all the mechanics of the transport right there. And let it load. And if we press play, it should start spinning. Yep.
This is for all my fans.
So you can see it surge. So when you're recording on this unit, you know, it doesn't place all the data in sequence. It lays down the data just like maybe a hard drive would, and then the table of contents helps, you know, show where all that data is. So it's somewhat of a random access, you know, compared to a regular CD, but it spins fast enough where it can access all that data quickly and play it back in good quality. So that's really all I had on this one. It's a really cool unit. Thanks for viewing.